Welcome to today's explainer. You know, if you're learning German, you've probably figured out pretty quickly that talking about your stuff, your family, or your friends is, well, it's absolutely crucial for daily life. But getting it right in German, it definitely takes a little bit of grammatical gymnastics. But hey, don't worry, we're not doing any actual stretching today. We are going to completely demystify German possessive determiners, or as they're known in German, possessive article. We're going to channel some enthusiastic energy, break down the rules, and turn what might feel like this giant complex puzzle into a super simple logical system.
Okay, let's dive into this with a real-world puzzle. Picture this. You're sitting in a cafe or maybe a classroom, and you see a book left on the table. You might look at it and ask, Ist das Amma's Buch? Is that Amma's book? Or if you want to swap in a possessive word, you'd ask, Ist das ihr Buch? Is that her book? Or maybe it's a bag you spot, and you're wondering, Ist das seine Tasche? Is that his bag? Literally every single day, we're talking about who owns what. And that is exactly the job these little grammatical tools were built for. So here's our clear roadmap for the explainer today. 1. Meet the possessive article. 2. The nominative pattern. 3. Decoding the tricky ihre. 4. The accusative case shift. And 5. Describing your stuff. All right, jumping right into section 1, meet the possessive article. Who actually owns what? A possessive article is basically just a little ownership tag. It's a word you drop right in front of a noun to show, well, ownership or a personal connection. Just think of English words like my, your, his, or her. In German, if you want to say my table, it's mein Tisch. If you're talking about his sister, it's seine Schwester. They tell us who something belongs to or how people are connected. They are, for sure, the fundamental building blocks for describing your world.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real secret to mastering them. It's a simple 3-step rule. Let's make this totally actionable so we don't get overwhelmed. Step 1, identify the owner to find your root word, your stem. If I own it, the stem is mine. Step 2, look at the thing being owned. What's its gender, and is it singular or plural? So Tisch happens to be a masculine singular noun. Step 3, add the right ending based on the grammar case. Now, for a basic sentence, mine doesn't need any extra ending at all, so boom, it just stays mein Tisch.
Which brings us nicely to section 2, the nominative pattern. These are our basic forms.
This nominative pattern is honestly so incredibly straightforward. If you look at the breakdown here, for masculine and neuter nouns, we just use the base form, 0 extra endings. It's mein Tisch for my table and mein Buch for my book. But, and here's the trick, for feminine and plural nouns, you literally just tack an E onto the end of your stem. That's it. Tasche is feminine, so it becomes meine Tasche. Bucha is plural, so it turns into meine Bucha. Stem plus E. That is the whole shebang for the nominative rule.
But really quick, before we move on, I've got to call out a classic A1 beginner mistake. Because these possessive words kind of do the same job as ein or eine, sometimes people try to mash them together. You'll actually see people write ein mein Tisch. Actually, scratch that. Do not write that. It's completely incorrect. The possessive word kicks ein right out of the sentence. It is either ein Tisch or mein Tisch. Never, ever both.
Moving on to section 3, decoding the tricky ihre. It has 3 distinct meanings, and it trips up everyone.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is when you lay them out side by side, you see how functionally different they are. Ihre is a real chameleon. First column, lowercase ihre right before a noun means her or their. You just have to use context clues to figure out which one. Das ist ihr Buch could be that is her book or that is their book. Second column, a big capitalized ihre before a noun. That is the formal your, like das ist ihr Buch, that is your book, sir. And this is a massive deal. Formal ihre is always capitalized, no matter where it's hiding in the sentence. Finally, third column, lowercase ihre right before a verb. That's a pronoun that just means you all, like lest ihr das Buch. Are you all reading the book?
Let's step it up. Section 4, the accusative case shift. Direct object changes.
Okay, so the accusative case happens when you have a direct object. That's the thing actually receiving an action in your sentence. Here's a super handy cheat sheet of everyday action verbs that trigger the accusative case. Verbs like haben, to have, sacken, to search, sehen, to see, nehmen, to take, kaufen, to buy, brauchen, to need, and finden, to find. If you're doing one of those actions to a thing, that thing shifts into the accusative. But comparing the nominative and accusative forms side by side reveals some incredibly good news for us. Look really closely at this. The feminine, neuter, and plural columns, they don't change at all. My Natasha in the nominative stays exactly my Natasha in the accusative. Think about how much memorization that saves you. The only single thing that changes when an object receives an action is that masculine singular column.
So the crucial point is this. When a masculine noun becomes the direct object, its possessive word takes an N ending. Say you're searching for your table. Tisch is masculine, and the verb suchen triggers our accusative case. So mein Tisch transforms into meinen Tisch. Ich suche meinen Tisch. Meeting your brother? Ich treffe deinen Bruder. He's looking for his dog? Sucht seinen Hund. Tacking on that N for masculine direct objects is literally a game changer.
And that brings us to section 5, describing your stuff. Let's add some flavor.
So, when you're describing something you own, the little modifier words you drop in front of the adjective completely alter the vibe. Check out the nuances here. If you say das Auto is zu teuer, using too, you're complaining. It's too expensive. Too means there's a problem, it's excessive. Now, if you say das Auto is sehr teuer, using sehr, you're just laying out a fact. It's very expensive. It's neutral, it's strong, and honestly, it's your safest bet for exams or formal writing. But if you tell a friend das T-shirt is super schön, that is pure enthusiasm. Super is informal, it's colloquial, and it's perfect for everyday chat.
All right, we've hit the end of our grammar breakdown. But before we wrap up, I've got a quick challenge for you. Look around the room you're sitting in right now. Can you actively use what we just covered to describe 3 items? Just point at something and say, das ist mein, or das ist meine. Keep the gender in mind, run through that 3-step rule, and hey, throw in a sehr or a super while you're at it. Pulling this stuff off the screen and into your real, everyday life is how it finally clicks. To keep this momentum going and dive even deeper into your German journey, make sure you check out Falowen.app. Keep practicing, stay curious, and have fun describing your world.